Hey, it's me, Vicki Marie, and I've woken up this morning to another batch of emails, which is lovely. People talking about things going on, and I do like it that people let me know what news is going on that quite often I miss because I'm too busy either doing Spanish classes or doing videos on things, and then I miss out on some of the news. And anyway, somebody sent me an email this morning to tell me about this situation with the autistic teenager who was arrested by the police. A 16-year-old girl dragged out of her home. Do you know, it just when you think it can't get any worse, it does, doesn't it? So all the things going on in Britain, all the different things going on, and it was felt sort of necessary for, I think it was 6 or 7 police officers to go into a 16-year-old autistic girl's home and drag her out kicking and screaming because she upset one of the police officers by making a remark to say she was a lesbian like her nana. Now, let's have a look at the incident first of all. Let's just have a look at the incident. If you haven't seen it already, you probably have. I hadn't seen it. So I'm really grateful for this being brought to my attention because I hadn't seen it. So let's have a look. So just to warn you, it is upsetting, especially if you've got anyone with autism in your family. You may find it upsetting. Let me just see. Yeah.
Has been released from bail, but West Yorkshire's Police's Professional Standards Directorate is still looking into the incident after receiving a complaint. To discuss this, frankly, really disturbing story, I'm joined by former London police officer and director of Law and Order.
All right, sorry, that's not the bit I want to see.
Foundation, Norman Brennan.
I want to see the actual clip.
Put your clench in your fist. Go away from my teenage daughter.
An upsetting clip, and it might be distressing for some of you.
Put your clench in your fist. Go away from my teenage daughter.
Now, first problem there is they're actually in the home. They're in the home. They don't have a warrant to be in the home. They don't. I don't know maybe how they ended up in the home, but I'm going to read the full story of what happened in a moment. But let's just see the clip. So this police officer took offence when the girl apparently said to her, as she was going up to bed, it was all nearly over, whatever the incident was, and the girl made a throwaway remark, she's a lesbian like my nana.
Right. There is something wrong with you, mate. She didn't aim it at the police officer.
Homophobic remarks.
My mother. It's not a homophobic remark. She said, I think she's a lesbian like Nana.
If you want to bully people, you'll just get one of them badges there. That's what you do.
Yeah, exactly. She's autistic. She don't like people touching her. She will have a meltdown. She won't come out. She's got autism. I'm Lisa.
No, it's distressing, isn't it? Because if any of you have got autism in your family, any members of your family, you will know that someone who's autistic would just go absolutely mental, have an absolute meltdown in that sort of situation. And this girl, she had been drinking. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's probably, just because someone's got autism doesn't mean to say that, you can never arrest them for anything they ever do wrong. But what did she do wrong? She's a teenage girl. She was out. So let's have a look at the Daily Mail. Is it the Daily Mail, I think? that just tells us what actually happened. So there's no further action being taken against this teenager for a start. So obviously probably the police, when they sort of got round to the higher up powers that be or whatever, they were probably like, what the hell is all this about? You know, like, why have you turned this into such a big story? So the girl 16 was arrested after saying a police officer was a lesbian like Nana. You know, I'm not being funny, but if that young policewoman is so touchy about her sexuality that just a teenage girl making a throwaway comment like that, even if it was that, to me, that's not a homophobic comment, but even if it was, that woman, that police officer, in her career, she's got a long career ahead of her, she's going to get called much worse things when she comes up against like criminals or, you know, proper criminals, etc. If she's touchy about her sexuality, she shouldn't be in the police, because at the end of the day, she's going to get called things. Don't they know that? Don't they do that when they go through training? Don't they train them how to keep calm in a situation when someone's screaming obscenities at you, calling you, if you know, maybe calling you racist slurs or homo? You know, sometimes you can't. You're a police person. You know, you can't just rise to every comment that somebody makes to you. You know, people are going to make comments. That's unfortunately, that's how it is, especially drunk people. You can't arrest everyone who makes you know, a comment to you. I mean, if they assault you, if they make a serious but you know, just someone who makes a comment, oh well, she's a lesbian like my nana. So what? You know, if that was my just say, yeah, I am. You know, what's your nana like? You know, make a joke of it. That's what they're supposed to be trained for, aren't they? And this, to me, is the crux of this problem. They're not trained properly. They're not trained properly. There's not enough money to train them properly. There's not enough good candidates who want to be in the police for a start these days, because the money's rubbish for the hassle that you get. And so that's what you end up, people like that who you know, I'm sorry, it's like, oh my God, she said I was a lesbian like a nana. God, you really think that's the worst thing that's going to get said to you in your police career? And if you want to make it a decent police person, you've got to learn to be a little bit tougher than that. You know, a 16-year-old autistic girl makes that comment to you and you go into a meltdown and you're the one, yeah, you're not supposed to have autism, you're supposed to know better. And the other thing that apparently this police officer said was, when she was told the girl had autism, she just said, I don't care. You know, what is wrong with them? Anyway, so you can beat up your wife, you can do, you know, all the things that people get away with and don't get arrested for. The police go, no further action. But a 16-year-old autistic teenage girl makes a stupid comment to a policewoman who takes it, I don't know, she just has a hissy fit, really, doesn't she, about this comment? It's beyond belief. Anyway, so this 16-year-old girl, who apparently also suffers from spinal disability scoliosis, had been driven to her home in Leeds by officers after attending the city's gay pride celebrations with her sister. Oh, so she's been to the gay pride with her sister, so she's hardly homophobic, is she? She was later dragged away screaming in the early hours of Monday morning, having been arrested on suspicion of homophobic public order offence. Goodness me, thank God the mother filmed this. Thank God the mother filmed this, because otherwise, well, the police body cam would disappear, or they'd only release part of it, because they just manipulate everything. It's like with Nicola Bulley's case. There's no way that that body cam wasn't working that day. It was working. but we just never get to see that body cam. Anyway, so footage of the incident filmed by the girl's mother went viral on TikTok, prompting a furious backlash online, with West Yorkshire police being accused of heavy-handedness, not being heavy-handedness, but you think, I mean, why can't they? It's like they're bullies, aren't they? They are bullies. So when they go around to to situations of domestic abuse, like we've seen on this channel, I've played you some videos of situations where the police have gone around and end up saying, no, don't think there's any problem there. Like with Kelly, because didn't drag him away kicking and screaming, did they? You know, they're bullies. They just pick on the vulnerable people that they think they can cope with. Anyway, this evening, which was when, let's see, this was on Sunday. Oh, that's today, is it? Oh, it says Sunday the 13th of August. So it said this evening, can't be this evening because it's not this evening yet, it's first thing in the morning. But anyway, the force has confirmed it will take no further action against the teenager and has released her from bail, although a review of the arrest by West Yorkshire's Police's Professional Standards Directorate is ongoing. So that'll come to no conclusion, will it be? Well, we've got to wait to see for the result of the review. So this is the girl, this is the female police officer who basically had a hissy fit because that girl said to her she's a lesbian like Nana. Well, you know, she's young, she looks young, but you know what they say, as you get older, the police start to look younger. She's young, but why is she so, you know, somebody said to you, what is offensive about that? She'll get called so many worse things than that in her career. She just will. And if she doesn't know that, and if she hasn't been trained for that, she shouldn't be in the police. If you're in the police, people are going to say horrible things to you, especially when they're drunk. And what that girl said, it wasn't even horrible, really. You know, so and calling it a homophobic, how is it homophobic to say, oh, she's a lesbian like my nan? She could have dealt with it so much better. So, you know, she's just got an inflated sense of her own importance. She then got the other guys involved. You know, so he was saying, oh, this girl's made a home. God, so the girl's cowering in a corner, punching herself in the face in a corner in her own house. And they decide it's appropriate to arrest her for saying she's a lesbian like my nana. Ridiculous. So, yeah, she's cowering there in the hallway. And while the mother tried to sort of explain that she was autistic, she hadn't meant to offend the officer. And they just said, I don't care. Okay, let's watch the video again.
Aquí somos como dicen, somos de hablar alto, de buen tiempo, de tocar las palmas y de estar con la familia.
Aquí en Dazón somos de deporte.
La liga y los deportes que amas desde 29,99 € al mes. Suscríbete.
Why are all those people needed? Why are all
She's made a comment in her own house. You've got her own camera. She hasn't said anything to you. Don't matter. Don't matter. She's getting arrested. She's getting arrested. Why are you doing units coming? Don't worry. She hasn't done anything. She's autistic. I don't care. She's autistic. I know you're arrested. I'm telling you, I've got units coming. She's going to be arrested tonight. I'll wait till the police officer's coming on. Like, why we got on first place. Calm down. She's autistic. Can you stop staring at her, please? She's got autism. Can you just stand there? She's in a cupboard. She can't go anywhere. She can't go anywhere. Stand there, dear.
Oh.
They're going to remove her for what? You're bothered. Then she said the word lesbian. Her nana is a lesbian. She's married to a woman. She's not homophobic. Look what you're clenching your fist. Go away from my teenage daughter.
What is up with you?
There is something wrong with you, mate. She didn't aim it at the police officer.
Homophobic remarks.
It's not a homophobic remark. She said, I think she's a lesbian like Nana.
If you want to bully people, you'll just get one of them badges there. That's what you do.
Yeah, exactly. She's autistic. She don't like people touching her. She will have a meltdown. She won't come out. She's got autism. I'm Lisa.
So she can come out. We're trying not to do this, aren't we? We've been trying for a long time.
But she hasn't done nothing wrong. That officer out there has assaulted me for no reason. She's got autism. She's autistic, man.
So the issue is, if an officer decides to arrest her,
She wasn't arrested. They brought her home.
she's under arrest.
No, but she was going upstairs and she made a comment to me, and that officer ran in my house and assaulted me and tried to get to my daughter for now.
If you want to make a complaint about any of it, that's fine.
I am going to. I am going to. Yeah, because it is on, and she has.
She's now under arrest.
She was full of rage and she ran in the house and she barged me into this corner.
So, just want to say, so if on that night you were phoning the police and wondering why, maybe you're in an urgent situation, well, they couldn't come and sort you out because they were all there arresting this little girl. Yeah.
Aquí somos como dicen.
So, what about that then? So, now some people might not want to hear this, but my thoughts on this whole thing is there is a crisis in the police in Britain. There's a total crisis because there's not enough money going into it. That woman is not trained properly. She can't even take a comment like that and realise it. Just calm down, because that comment came right at the end of the whole situation. And they brought the girl home. She should have just been put up into a bedroom or whatever, or left with her mum. Don't know why all the police had to come into the house, and why so many of them. So, in my opinion, that's what you can thank your government for. That's all these years, 13 years of austerity, cutting, slashing public funding. So you can't get decent policemen or women, police officers. You can't get them because the people don't want to go into the police because it doesn't pay enough money. It's a load of hassle. So you end up getting people that aren't really probably up to the job. They're not trained properly. If that girl, that police officer, has not been trained how to deal with people with autism, I mean, come on. In fact, no, it seemed like the guy that went up to the girl in the end and actually talked her into coming out, he must have, he perhaps had a little bit more training. But that woman, and if she is a lesbian or if she isn't, or why, when you're in the police, you're gonna get called terrible names. You're going to have terrible things said to you. Probably women suffer from it a bit more than men do. But you should know that. If you don't want to be exposed to that, don't join the police. And if you cannot take a drunken 16-year-old autistic girl saying to you that you're a lesbian like your nana, like her nana, you should not be in the police. I'm telling you now, because if you what? It's like you have a hissy fit at that. What do you think you're going to get called when you're arresting somebody serious? Somebody who's really violent, really aggressive. A drug dealer or a murderer or a domestic violence abuser. You think you're not going to get called worse things than that, or have worse things than that said to you? You know, you've got to develop a thick skin when you go in the police. You know, that's just the way it is. You're dealing with people that are drunk a lot of the time, and they're going to say things. So what you're going to do? Arrest everybody who says one little thing? Anyway, so to me, there's a real crisis in Britain. We've seen it with so many different cases that we've spoken about on here. And there's a really big crisis. I don't know where it's going. Well, I don't think it will. It's not going to improve until you get a change of government. And, you know, some people won't like that, but it is. This government that Britain has got at the moment, they cannot get anything right. They've just made a total balls up of the Rwanda thing. They've made a total balls up of this bloody floating Bibi, whatever it's called thing. It all just goes over my head at the moment, because all I'm waiting for now is an election. Get rid of them. They cannot do anything right. And they've just, your life, I mean, not mine, because I don't live in Spain, in Britain, but my family do. And there may come a day where I want to live back in Britain or whatever. And is that what I've got to go back to? You know, just no confidence in the police whatsoever. And this is what the Tory government has done to your country. Your country is a disgrace, to be honest. Now, it's a disgrace in everything. What can, as British people, what can we be proud of now? Seriously, somebody tell me in comments. Please tell me what we can be proud of in Britain today now. You know, used to be proud to be British, and now 16-year-old autistic girls are being dragged off down to the police station, held for 20 hours for making the comment, she's a lesbian like my nana. Whereas people just walking free who are domestic abusers, or people being let out of prison after 16 years after murdering somebody, you know, what's going on? So the only thing that's going to change it is a change of government. It's not going to happen overnight, even then. This is my fear. How long? Probably within my lifetime it won't get better. So, but hopefully one day it'll get better. So we pray for an election. We pray for some more money going into the police. And then the police can, you know, they're not all horrible people. You know, so anyway, that's my 2 penny worth. I'm sure you'll let me know what you think in comments. So remember to always live and love wisely. I'll see you very soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Thank you.